Since 2021, the Colorado Resiliency Office and our partners have been working with 16 regional community teams across rural Colorado. Each of these 16 teams were able to define their own region and partners, and with funding from the U.S. Economic Development Administration, craft their own region-specific resiliency roadmap that captures their priorities and actionable strategies that will make their economies and communities more resilient to future shocks and stressors. We have been so inspired by these teams and the resilience champions that have been forwarding some truly transformational progress. We've captured their voices here as they reflect on the past 2 years and what regional resiliency means to them.
Colorado is coming together as one and equally understanding that, from east to west, north to south, that the communities are all part of what make us, one of the greatest states to want to live.
I think in our region, we are seeing a lot more collaboration across jurisdictional lines. So regional is really a thing right now. It's not just one community trying to work on their problems. They know that they're all interconnected.
There's a lot of interest in regional collaboration, but we all know it takes a lot to move from interest to actual implementation. And we've just been so thankful that all the local governments in the region have been rowing in one direction and rowing together.
With our One Valley Leadership Council, with groups and community members from a wide spectrum of our community, representing diverse interests, diverse perspectives, and diverse backgrounds. And, I think through that, we've seen a lot of great success, which has really motivated us to continue the work.
We have such a diverse geography, each contributing to our state through its own unique economic attributes, supporting the collective vibrancy of our great state. I think it's important for overall state resiliency to acknowledge that a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work.
Sensitivity, so that forms of justice and equity that keeps getting ignored or keeps getting erased or keeps being seen as an other can now finally be seen as this is how we're going to heal our communities.
So I think if we think about bottom up, so let's start locally with needs and how does that build to the region, and then how does that build to the state. That is going to make Colorado more resilient than if Colorado is looking completely as a state and going top down.
And we rely really heavily on the commitment and the passion that our community members have to this place, to the people in it, and to our surrounding environment, all three of which make it a really special place.
The Western San Luis Valley Regency Roadmap team is focusing in on that and getting the people in the right people in the room to start looking at how we can affect these opportunities for action, whether it's for housing, which is a focal point, commercial, entrepreneurship, youth, is the things that we're doing.
Building partnerships, trying to build consensus is really challenging, and
it can be hard to do. We all know that collaboration is something we strive to, but implementing collaboration can be a taller task than some of the other things we work on.
That is all the more reason to continue to come back to the table and keep trying and work to find that common ground and those common goals.
Having cross-sector leaders willing to participate in these conversations and plans and supporting people to implement those adaptations makes our Eastern Plains communities resilient.
Know that if we're left by ourselves, each individual jurisdiction, and we just build the housing that we can, we'll get a little bit of the way there, but we won't be able to have the impact that we want. So
the last one I always tell people is look at it like a garden. You help the weakest plants first because all the other strong ones are already going. So it's kind of recognizing it works like that in every other biosphere too.
Through the goals of our roadmap program, we are really focused on strengthening each of our communities to really uplift and strengthen our region as a whole, which uplifts and strengthens Colorado as a whole. Founded in the ethos, a rising tide lifts all boats.